Yes, people. How we all doing? I just want to fix that. How we all doing? Happy Tuesday. I still can't understand why they put this card on a Tuesday, but ayo. So we're into the co-main. So right now there's one more fight before we get into the main event, and I thought this fight was going to be on Sky Sports, but no, it's not on Sky Sports. It's on Top Rank's website for free, so I can't really complain. So if you have a smart TV, you just bang it on YouTube, and there you go. And it's going to be interesting. I can't wait for this main event, people. Honestly, I cannot wait for this main event to get this started. And it's, like I said, it's a shame it's on a Tuesday here. And I would imagine it's a shame it's on a Tuesday in Japan too, because I would imagine it's a working day. So it's going to be like that across the board. It's probably a working day for all of us here. I know yesterday in Ireland was a bank holiday, but in the UK, a lot of the guys are going to have to probably be either in work, or if they're working from home, listening to blow by blows, or just looking at it on the side. So we had a few people in the chat. As I said, we're in the co-main now. So I'm hoping that these Japanese cards aren't as, how do I put it, dramatized, for want of a better word, than some of the cards we have in the UK and the US, and that card in Australia, where they say the ring walk is going to be at this time, and they drag them out like crazy. Like that Kambosos Devin Haney fight, they dragged that out for a good half hour. I mean, the co-main finished at, like, say, before 4 a.m. and it was nearly 4:30 before they ended up actually getting to the ring. So it's crazy. So 19 people in the building. Big up to Emerald. Shout out to you. Unknown G. What time do you think the main event starts at? Well, they're saying it's to start. Ring walks are going to be 12:30. This is a 10-rounder. So depending on how this goes, although the Japanese guy has a good few knockouts, so you never know. But I would say closer to 1. I'd say closer to 1 it's going to be. And shout out to Nick every single time. Big up to you, my man. Appreciate you tuning in. And I'm all good, man. I've got a Tuesday off. Got boxing online on YouTube. Although the feed from Top Rank is not the greatest, it has to be said. It's nothing to do with the internet quality. It's to do with the cameras. And can't see this fight lasting long. Well, apparently, so I've heard, in the first fight, both guys had winning gloves. Now, I'm someone who doesn't like winning gloves, and especially when Donaire has used Everlast pretty much his whole career, so he's using a glove he's not comfy with. From what I've heard, both guys are using the gloves they want. So I've heard that Inoue, because his brother was using them as well, is going to be using Reyes. That's a scary thought. And Donaire is going to have his Everlast on. So both guys are going to get... If both guys are wearing Reyes and Everlast, expect a lot of blood, because those gloves will smash you up. They will smash you. Winning gloves won't do that. Winning gloves are so smooth and so soft that they absorb a lot of the shot. If you're wearing Reyes and Everlast, you are going to smash someone's face up with them. Big up to John. Takeshi did well early on. Yeah, Inoue's brother is not... he's nowhere near as good as his older brother. The fight was delayed on the Kambosos fight. Was god-awful. Yeah, I know. I don't understand why they do that. I don't understand why they advertise a ring walk at such a time when they can get it over and done with at that time, and they just delay it. It's a pain in the arse. If you could, people, smash the like button as well. Hopefully we get this up in the algorithms. I can't imagine there's many going to be doing a watch along on a Tuesday afternoon, technically now. And in the US, it's got to be morning time, like late morning, like 4 a.m. over there, I think. And the co-main is just underway now. Both guys are Japanese. Hakurai versus Akawawa. I think is how you pronounce that name. So see how this one goes. A lot of these Japanese fights to be fun. What time in the UK? I reckon about 1 o'clock. 1:45, 1 o'clock, in and around that. Now, it depends how quick this fight ends. They're saying that 12:30. Now, if this fight ends, say, in 4 or 5 rounds, I'd hope they get a move on with it. And I hope, because it's in Japan, they probably would, because I don't think in Japan they don't try and, draw things out in Japan. They tend to just get a move on, which I'm hoping they do, because, as I said, like, that Australian thing was a joke. The fact that, like, they could have got that main event ready to go then and there, and they just dragged it out for as long as they could before they did the ring walks, that was a pain in the arse. And they've done that in America as well. They do it a bit in the UK. In fact, they've done it a good bit over the last few months with the Zone and BT, but they can be a bit better. That was the one thing I used to like about the World Boxing Super Series. You know, they had their schedule to a T. They used to say that if it's on in the States, it's a fourth. Oh, down already. Japanese guy touches down in the first round from an uppercut. Gets a count, flash knockdown. He's not really hurt, but he touches down. Have a look at that in the replay. So he got a drop in the first round. Interesting. Pacquiao, what's he going to do? Oh, he's going for it. The Japanese fighter's not too badly hurt. I mean, they're both Japanese, technically. But he is swinging for the fences. Hiroka, I think is how you pronounce that name. Swinging for the fences. Both guys swinging for the fences in there. Uppercuts going in. It was a flash knockdown. He didn't look devastatingly hurt from that shot, but both guys going for it now in the center of the ring. Lively start. That's what I say about these cards in Japan. If you can get a look at some of these, do. Even if you don't know the fighters, because these, whoa, swinging it. Oh, good left hook goes in there. Because a lot of these cards, a lot of them have really, really good fights on. And that's the thing. You wouldn't really know some of them, but a lot of these fights in Japan turn into be, you know, shootouts. I mean, when Rick and Doe fought in Japan against that tall guy a couple of years ago, Rick and Doe, of all people, that turned into a shootout. And he ended up smashing the guy's face up. So Japan has a way of doing that. It just brings out the entertainment in these fights. And a good first round. I mean, I wasn't expecting that at all. I think the guy, Hiroka, has a good few losses. And the other guy, Akiwawa, I think I'm shy with names. He's coming in as the prospect, but he's down in the first round. And took a good few shots. His defense is really, really poor. Defense is really, really poor in there. Let's have a look at this replay and see this knockdown. It looked like a short uppercut on the inside, but it didn't look a devastatingly hard knockdown. But they were going for it from very early on. Let's have a look-see. Leads with the jab. Yep, little short uppercut, lands on the side of the head, and that will knock your senses. And the legs, yep, the legs did do a little bit of a stumble. Yeah, big up to Lee every time. Hope you're having a good morning, man. And support the channel if you all could, please. Good afternoon, sir. Nice to have this while working. Yeah, I remember the first Inoue Donaire fight. I was watching that while working, so said, no, I'll take today off. Yesterday was a bank holiday, so there we go. Big up to Mr. MJ, or Mr. J. Ring walk time UK, 12:30, between 12:30 and 1, mate. Used Inoue sparring gloves in the first fight. Yeah, I mean, if you're comfy with a certain glove, I don't understand why you'd insist on them wearing a winning glove or something like that, especially winning. Winning are great sparring gloves. Brilliant for sparring. Absolutely fantastic sparring glove. But for a fight glove, it just doesn't work. I mean, unless, oh man, some serious shots being thrown in here early on. This is a good little scrap so far. Hey, if we get 10 rounds of this, I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining if we get 10 rounds of this. Right hands, body shots. Some good shots being thrown in there. Some real good shots. And that's what I said about these cards in Japan. If you ever get a chance to look at some of them, they really do catch fire pretty quick. Like, a lot of these cards are really, really, really good. But the last went the distance, so why would the rematch be any different? I suspect that the rematch is going to be the same. It's going to go the distance, but I suspect that we're going to still see a slugfest. I really do. Thinking Inoue by late stoppage. If its stoppage does happen, I suspect for both guys it'll be late. Take their domestic titles. If they do, take them very serious. They take those domestic titles extremely serious over there. You know, I mean, I think, oh, look at some of them shots being thrown in. They take them very serious over there. They take them as serious as they would take the British title over here. You know, for them. And you know, they tend to put a lot of these guys in early on. Like, if you look at Inoue when he won his first Japanese title, I forget the guy's name, but he went on to win world titles too. And he won some rounds against Inoue as well in that fight. Forget the Rayo something, I think his name was. So they take them belts serious. And they fight very much in a case of, you know, it's very rare you see these guys in boring fights in these cards over in Japan. Very rare. A lot of these guys are good technically. They throw a lot of shots. A lot of them can punch. and they go for knockouts. They entertain the fans. And I'm liking this fight so far. It's been a good start to the first 2 rounds. Some shots going in there again, up against the ropes. And this guy's defense is actually quite good. Oh, look at that. The opponent in there is a guy called Hiroka. And he is lighting this guy up. Because the other guy is called Akawea. And he is walking into shots left, right, and center. And he's the prospect, as far as I believe. I think he is the prospect in this fight. And he is taking some shots left, right, and center. It's a great little start to this fight. He's already been down. And he's already marking up again the eye as well. Oh, body shots, uppercuts go in as well. Look at that. As it comes to the end of the second round. Oh, some shots, and he does a little dance to say, you ain't hurt me. You landed with some shots, but you ain't hurt me in the corner of the rope. I picked Hiroka round 4, but as long as I get the stoppage. And it looks like you might very well get the stoppage in here. Yes. What channel is the fight on? Go onto YouTube and type in just Top Rank Boxing. Just Top Rank Boxing, and you'll get it there. Gets him out of there by round 7. As Nick says, Top Rank Boxing. There you go. Think Inoue will light him up early. Back rounds 1 to 6. Could happen, mate. Could happen. Crazy. I watched thinking Hiroka was the prospect. He's fighting like the prospect though. And here's the thing. In Japan, a lot of these fighters, and they're good fighters, do tend to have losing records. Some of them do. But it doesn't halt them. And a lot of these aren't afraid to put their records on the line early on in their careers. A lot of them aren't afraid to do that. I mean, in the UK and in America, it's just like, don't lose the O, keep the O safe, don't risk the O. Whereas in places like Japan and all like that, it's a case of, look, if we lose, we lose. And they still believe they can get world titles. Can I get a shout out? Liquid in the front, Poker in the rear. Shout out to him. Shout out to you, my man. Got Inoue 10 to 12. Probably early with the gloves. Yeah. The gloves will make a big difference. They will. Zero trouble in the crowd. Yeah. Yeah, Japan is it's an interesting country. There's a country I wouldn't mind visiting, to be honest with you. It's an interesting place. I don't know if I live there per se, but it's a very interesting country. A very interesting country. One of the few countries to never have restrictions implemented. I know everyone there has a mask on, but in terms of restrictions, they're one of the few countries to not do it for the last 2 years. It's against their constitution, apparently. But it's an interesting country to look at and to live in. I'd love to see it. I don't know if I'd like to live in it, but I'd love to see it, just in terms of just what it's like. Some more good work in here. I mean, that guy Hiroka is fighting like the prospect in there. You'd never think he's kind of coming in as the opponent. I think he's got like 6 losses or something like that. He's definitely got losses. But he is fighting out of his skin in there. He really is doing a great job. And look at the right hand he's coming in there with. And he cannot miss this guy. And the side of his face is starting to get smashed up a bit. And he is just happy just to keep on boxing. Nice slick movement. Keeping out of range. And this guy is just flat-footed. The guy's fighting is so flat-footed. Like, he is just standing there. He's not even on the tips of his toes. He's just standing flat-footed, looking to try and land what he can. Jesus. And he is walking into shots left, right, and centre. Zero head movement, zero lateral movement. Cannot see these shots coming. Walks into some body shots there. And Hiroka just decides to get on his bike and just start moving around the ring. Every time this guy comes close to him, he's just lighting him up with combinations. And he's so... Oh, look at that. Right hand goes in. Another one. And he is just so confident in his own ability. He's just happy with what he sees coming. He can see it coming. And then he just lights him up with his own combinations. Brilliant stuff. And the uppercut, he cannot miss with that uppercut. I mean, look at that. Oh, damn. I think Nick's prediction around 4 could be onto something there. Very good work here by Hiroka. Nice movement up against the ropes. His opponent can't do anything. He is literally just chasing him around the ring. And it's a bit similar to kind of how Haney was the other day. But this guy is throwing combinations like hell. I mean, he's not looking to just outbox this guy. He's looking to hurt him, really put a beating on him. And after 4 rounds, I mean, jeez. Has there ever been a decent Japanese heavyweight? Not to my knowledge. I mean, Fujimoto is their most recent one, and we saw what happened to him when he fought Dubois. The porn is a bit weird, but I like Japanese. They've managed to stay pretty homogenized. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. I've never watched Japanese porn. Never. My heart is supporting Donaire. He's at a stage where he's a darling in the sport now. One of those fighters that when retired, you look back and say thank you. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Douglas Tyson was in Japan, and Tyson Tubbs was in Japan as well. They're not the most lively. In terms of the atmosphere, is never going to be the most lively. You wouldn't get it like a UK atmosphere. You'd never get that in Japan. Sumo should give boxing a try. Yeah, they'd make heavyweight all right. Do you ever see the finding matches in Japan? Defending matches? No, mate. They had restrictions for the Olympics, if I remember. I think the only restrictions they had was people coming into the country. But once you were in it, they didn't have anything. So it was a bit like kind of Sweden. Sweden had restrictions on people coming in. But in terms of getting, because once you were there, you were good to go. You didn't have to. I don't even think the muzzles are mandatory. I think it's just that they wear them. Went to Cambosis Haney fight and can't understand how the judges gave so many rounds to Cambosis. Neither can I. I said that would happen. I said there'd be a closer scorecard than there should be. And whether you consider a 116, 112 scorecard close is another story. But I said that would happen. I really did. I said that would happen. Hiroka is undefeated though. 19-0. Oh, is he the undefeated guy? I thought it was the other guy. Oh, if that's the case, I thought it was the other guy, Akawa, who was the undefeated guy. So I got that wrong. I must have read the names wrong there, because he is definitely fighting like someone who's undefeated. Lighten this guy up with combinations. Absolutely. Is this on in the UK? Yeah, it's on Top Rank's channel. So go on YouTube and just type in Top Rank Boxing. You'll get the fight there. I mean, literally, it's if you're on in the UK. If you're in the US, I'm sure you can change VPN or something like that. You can just go on YouTube and you'll get it there. Because I'm pretty sure it's only for the UK and Ireland where you can get this on Top Rank's UK channel or Top Rank's YouTube channel. But I'm sure if you're in the States or Canada or somewhere like that, if you just change your VPN to the US, like UK, change the country, you're pretty much good to go. You are pretty much good to go in that sense. Yeah, I was thinking there was no way this guy was a journeyman. Yeah, I obviously got them. I got the names mixed up there. Yeah, struggled to give him more than 2 rounds. I gave him 1 round. Couldn't understand how the judges gave him 4 rounds. 40 in the building. 78 in the building, people. If you could actually smash the like button, help your boy out. I've got 30 likes. I'd love to get to 50 likes if we could. 78 in the building. Let me know your picks for Naoya Inoue, because we're getting this straight after this fight. And I'm looking forward to it. And I think this fight so far has been actually entertaining as hell. I mean, this guy, Hikawa, he is just lighting this guy up. And look at that. Very impressed I am with this guy. Very impressed. And there's a lot of Japanese fighters I've been looking at over the years, over the last year anyway. And I've been so impressed with, like, Nakatane at flyweight. No one's beating him at flyweight. No one is beating that guy at flyweight. No way. No, sir. I see Kazuto Ioka is rematching Donny Nietes. I think it's next month. Kazuto Ioka lost to Donny Nietes, if memory serves me correct. I know there was controversy around that first fight, but he should get the job done this time. He really should get the job done this time. Vending machines. Oh, vending machines. Hey, G-Man, what does only the ref can stop the fight mean in reality? That the corner isn't allowed to throw the towel in? That's basically what it means. So when you see a corner throwing the towel in, that's not the corner stopping the fight. That's the corner indicating to the referee, we want you to stop the fight. So the referee doesn't actually have to do it in that sense. So, for example, if you look at Steve Gray when he threw the towel out in Lewis Ritson's last fight, people were complaining, and it was like, no, the corner can't actually stop the fight. That's just an indication to them that they want it stopped. The referee doesn't actually have to accept it. And I remember Mickey Van back in the early 2000s. I can't remember the fight. It was a British fight. But there was a similar situation where the corner threw in the towel and Mickey Van just literally got the towel and threw it back out of the ring. They don't have to accept that. Like, the corner can say to the referee, "We want the fight stopped," in the corner, and the referee can just wave it off. And normally that's all right. But if, say, a fighter is getting beaten a bit like this and they throw in the towel, the referee can take that as an indication to stop the fight, but he doesn't actually have to. So you know what I mean? So when you see the towel come in, you know, people say, like, "Oh, the corner stopped it." Not necessarily. The corner have indicated to the referee that they want the fight stopped, but it's the referee who makes the final decision. He can turn around and say, as Steve Gray and Mickey Van did, and just say, "No, what's going on? I don't see enough to warrant stopping the fight." But 9 times out of 10, they do. They take that from the corner to say, "Our guy had enough. We want it to be stopped." And the referee will say, "Okay, fair enough. We'll stop the fight." And that's basically what it means. Bit more competitive start to this 5th round. But Hiroka's still doing very well. I mean, the movement from this guy, he is not getting hit with anything. Very slick movement, covering up well. And I think he's taken this round off because he's been throwing a lot of power shots in this fight. I think he's just really taking a look. And I like that. I like the way that he's keeping a distance. He's just taking his time. He's using his lateral movement, but some goals. Oh, that was low. That was low. Yeah, that was definitely low. He acknowledges it. That was definitely low. He even acknowledges that himself, that was a low blow. But leads in with a left hook again. Some really, really good work. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this guy in this 5th round. I think this guy, his speed is there. His shot selection is there. And his movement, his lateral movement is very good. Some good reflexes, good lateral movement, time and patience. I like what I'm seeing from this guy in this fight now, I have to say. And that's the thing about Japan, as I said. It always gets some good fighters. There's always good fighters in Japan. We don't see a lot of them because we don't get a lot of cards over there. But if you can watch some of the cards they put on, you'll see some very good up-and-coming prospects who do some very good. Look at that. Just counters and leads with the uppercut. It's brilliant work in here. Body shots go in. They were clean. They weren't low at all. Right hands to the head. Left hooks as well. Really low. Oh, big uppercut. Really pouring it on here now in the 5th round. And just smiles and dances. Bit of Emmanuel Augustus going on in here. Showboating. Running around the ring. Dodging these shots, and then picking his shots very well and letting his combinations go. Look at this, just ducking, joking up against the ropes. Having a field day in here. And just bringing the clock down towards the end of the 5th round. Jab, snapping the head back. Right hands, uppercut go in there again. Corner may want to look at stopping this fight at some stage because the guy here, the opponent, is taking some shots. He's taking a beating in there. Lucas Granddaddy Brown title shots? I hope not. I hope not. I like Japanese crowds. They sit focused on the fight. They're not quiet because they're bored. It's just, yeah. You know, they're not screaming for the sake of it. Great, this is happening on YouTube midday. Can't wait for the fight. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I like it. I like the way they're doing this. It's good. You heard the news. Yeah, made a video on it. Can't believe it. Really can't. Just... yeah, can't believe it. I mean, there was so much better fights in there. Oh, yes, please, people. If we want that fight. That's a fight I want to see. Brown versus Lovejoy. Eddie Hearn, you want to change the game, put that fight on. Get those guys on call and put that fight on. Let's go, Monster. Yeah. He should, if Naoya Inoue, he needs to come out to Eminem Monster. That should be his entrance music. He needs to come out to that entrance song. He has to. Inoue wins by KO. Nonito retires. He might have one more fight just to go out with a win. But we're near the end of Donaire's career, sadly. I love Nonito Donaire. It's available to watch in the UK. Go on YouTube. Top Rank Boxing. It's there. Free for anyone. And you're good to go. Just type it in on YouTube. Top Rank Boxing. Free to air. On YouTube. There you go. That's what I have. That's what everyone has. It's not illegal stream. It's 100% legit. And if you're in the US, change your VPN and change your country to the UK or Ireland, and you should be good to go to get it there. What weight class was this? This, I'm not too sure. They don't look too big. I'd say it's probably, if I had to guess, I'd say bantam feather. Someone wants to correct me on it. I got Inoue by decision. Yep. But Donaire might get upset. Not going to underestimate him. No, you can't underestimate Donaire. Not with that punching power. And I remember him saying to Jamie in his interview that he's fighting more like a bantamweight now. Oh, man. Some of these combinations that are going in, the referee may need to look about stopping this fight soon enough. This guy can't defend himself, and he's taking a lot of shots. Uppercuts go in on the inside. Another uppercut. Backs up again. Stop the fight, ref. There you go. Yep. That needed to happen there, yep. 6th round stoppage. Brilliant performance by Hiroka. Very happy with that. He looks very good. So we're into the main event next, people. This was the final fight. Did you see things? There is a live scoring and sports drinks allowed in main events. And did you see there is a thing, there is a live scoring? For this fight, there's live scoring. I don't really like that. I don't like it when they do that. Best fight you have ever watched live, as in person? I mean, I've seen some stinkers. I haven't really watched many good fights live. In terms of then and there live, I mean, Jesus, people. Probably Baranchek versus Zepeda. Watched that live. I stayed up for that, but I didn't do a review until the next day because I was knackered. But that's probably one of the best. That probably might be the best. Top ranked YouTube. Yep. Sound like they're fighting in a living room. Yeah. If we could, 93 in the building. If we could make it 50 likes, I'd appreciate that. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. If you're new, hit subscribe. Help your boy out. Yeah, help your boy out. If you haven't already, hit the old subscribe button there. Brown versus Chisora would be better. I mean, either or, man. I mean, Brown at this stage, that wouldn't last very long. If you were Brown, that wouldn't last long at all. I'll tell you what I'm surprised at. I'm surprised Eddie Hearn, because I don't know if he's still promoting Martin Bakole. But I'm surprised Eddie Hearn didn't look to do Bakole versus Chisora, because Bakole is going to get a nice little crest of a wave of success after that Tony Yoka win. So I'm surprised Eddie Hearn isn't looking to push on with that. I mean, I know Bakole was fighting on Matchroom shows, whether he's still promoted by Eddie Hearn or whether he's on his own, or I don't know. But I would have thought that Eddie Hearn would look to do a bit more with Bakole, because Bakole, that win over Tony Yoka will push him forward. Really will. So I'm surprised Hearn isn't looking to do something there. Pulev still beats Chisora. Yeah, I haven't thought about that much, to be honest, who I think will take it. But, I mean, Pulev didn't really have to do much in the first fight. Just jab and grab, and that was it. Chisora had no answer. So I'd imagine he'd only have to do something similar in this one. He'll destroy Chisora. Chisora even beats Jerry Forrest. Yeah, I actually thought I picked Jerry Forrest to beat Pulev, because I thought Pulev had hardly anything left. Might be new soundbar, though. First fight, that was horrible. Yeah, that was a stinker. It wasn't a great fight at all. It was in Germany. I remember that fight well. It was in Germany on a Sauerland show. But I remember that was a horrible, horrible fight. And I think the majority of people were picking Chisora in the first fight. And he lost that first fight pretty damn clearly. Like, I mean, it was officially a split decision. And I don't know how he could score that split decision, because Chisora lost that fight clear as day. Clear as day. Brown versus Lovejoy, or Brown Allen too. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the only fight I want to see Dave Allen in. Give us the Lovejoy fight. We missed out on it. Did you see the fight in South Africa? I did. I seen that. I've never seen anything like that. That was crazy. If anyone doesn't know what he's referring to, there was a clip going around of a fight on Sunday in South Africa. And it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It was a fighter who, he backed his opponent up against the ropes, and the opponent went down, but it wasn't a knockdown. The referee called it a slip, and then he called both guys to fight again. And the guy who was on top turned, the opponent was on, say, the right-hand side, and this guy randomly turned to the left-hand side and just started punching thin air. I don't know what happened. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen in a boxing ring. And I know he was taken to the hospital straight after, so hopefully he's okay. I haven't heard anything since, but that is probably the strangest thing I've ever seen. And I mean, it was the referee rightly, as soon as he seen that, he stopped the fight instantly. I've never seen it. Shout out to NordVPN, £140. Thank you, Nick. What round you on, G-Man? Fight's just ended now, so we should be into the main event. Kambosos or Douglas? Jesus. The Kambosos will carry on. And he is a good fighter. James Douglas, he just wanted that win and he was happy. Fight should be on now in about what time we at? I reckon 20 minutes, give or take. I was trying to think who Dell will be fighting next. Coogan on the last interview said he hopes it is that mad and not like Kawaki. I was thinking Ariola. Yeah, I was hoping for Kalnaki, but hey, let's go on there. That was a good win. Putting the beating on this boy. Yeah. The referee was told to call that fight ASAP to get the main event going. No, that was a good stoppage, I think. Yeah, that was a brilliant fight. I mean, I had a feeling it would be good, but not that good. What's up, G? Top stuff. Brass, how about Big Daddy Brown? I mean, Lucas Brown is going to be in high demand following that win. They will have him in high demand for up-and-coming prospects. 140. It would have been a lot better. It would have been a hell of a lot better for just as a spectacle. You know? I think that this fight's going to be absolutely... It's going to be a 12-rounder that's just going to be dull. I can't see it catching fire. I can't see it. Do you think he has any chance with contenders? I was impressed with him there. It looked very good. And it's another name at 140, so I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Let's just see how long we are before the main event. I know when this fight was just getting started, Donaire had just finished getting his hands wrapped. Now, as I said, I hope in Japan, and I think they're a lot more to the point in terms of getting these cards started. So, I mean, that Australian card on Saturday was just, holy shit. They just held that main event up as long as they could. So I think we'd be okay with this one because both guys seemed reasonably ready to go. So, Donaire and Inoue. What does the G and G man stand for? It's just my last name. That's how I got it. I got it from the boxing gym I originally went to. Shout out the G-Man Boxing. Yeah, I think we're getting ready for this fight next. That's Africa guys stable now. Oh, that's good to know. Hey G-Man question. Can you read the questions out for the folks who are listening while driving, please? Yeah, man, that's what I'm doing. Obviously reading all these questions out at the same time. Some Turkish guy died. I seen that. I think that was in Germany. Yeah. Crazy. Boom. 89 in the building now, man. We're doing well with this. 54 likes hit. Bingo. See that? And again, if you're new to the channel, if you're enjoying it, if you just found this, give your boy a sub. Help your boy out. Help the channel grow. We want to get this channel. We want to get to 8K as quick as we can. Canelo versus Chisora. I mean, even Canelo, I don't think will go up to heavyweight. Ringside of Froch Taylor wasn't an amazing fight until round 11 and 12. They were doing live scoring that night. Really? I don't really like the live scoring, to be honest with you. Although saying that, I think that, to be fair, like if you did live scoring, I wonder would there be less chance of a robbery if you think of it like this? Because if you know a fight's going one way, like could you imagine live scoring for Canelo versus Bivol? Imagine live scoring for that. After 4 rounds, they announced Canelo was up on all 3 judges' scorecards by every round. I mean, instantly you'd have uproar. Instantly, like you'd have uproar from probably the fans, the judges, the fighters, the trainers. Maybe it would make the judges a bit less likely to actually give rounds that shouldn't be going to a fighter because Canelo won the first 4 rounds on all judges' scorecards, which is crazy. Like, can you imagine they announcing that during a fight? People will be going ballistic. Yeah, Haney is what he is. He's not going to get the blood flowing, if you know what I mean. Now, that's not going to be Devin Haney. At least there won't be Sweet Caroline. Yeah, Hearns oversold that. It was good for the big shows, but he does it at every show now. It's kind of lost its appeal. Yeah, it's time. I told you, they are quick over here. They're not going to mess around and, try and, like, those the zone and Warren shows, I swear, they just let it roll and roll and roll and roll. That's why I like the World Boxing Super Series. If they said it was on a half 10, it was on a half 10. They didn't pussyfoot around. It was just a case of, here we go, it's on now. Bit of Sweet Caroline. I don't mind it before big fights. Definitely not my fight of the year so far. I think my fight of the year so far has got to be Wood Conlon. That was brilliant. And knockout of the year as well. I mean, that fight was brilliant. Wood Conlon had me on the edge of my seat. That was such a fun fight. Such a fun fight. And that knockout is still my knockout of the year. Because it was so last minute, or not last minute, but last round, needing down on the scorecards, Lee Wood rallied late and then got that knockout. It was fantastic. That's my fight of the year and knockout of the year. Was down in that fight. He was. To be fair, the audience didn't know why the scores were appearing on the screens. Yeah, I think that was in 2009, around about then, 2009, 2010. So it would have been fairly new getting that. Those are some of the worst curtains. Yeah, they're horrible. But look, they're there. I don't really care about them, to be honest with you, mate. Josh Taylor got dropped and still won the fight. Yeah, no. He shouldn't have won that fight. It was a horrible, horrible decision. Horrible decision. Entertaining fighters, yeah. Died after the European champions. Everyone was sick of it. Yeah, they loved that. The Zone have an hour interview with Tony Bellew before the main event. Yeah, like, that's... I don't get that. For what reason? That guy is in a coma? Hope it's not true. Jesus. And it was so against the... He was winning that fight. It wasn't like he was a guy who took a Hail Mary beating and you could understand it. He was winning that fight. He was comfortable. And just like that, just literally just like that, he started like punching fresh air. It was bizarre. Is Warrington Woods a fight that will happen in the UK this summer? I'm sure that fight will happen. I'm fairly sure. I think that if Leo Santa Cruz moves up, and well, he's already moved up, but if he stays where he is and Lee Wood gets promoted to full champion, they'll make that fight. I'd be surprised if they're not already trying to do it. I'd be very surprised they're not already trying to do it. Carboses Lopez was a great fight. Love seeing it. Yeah, that was a great fight to watch live. I really enjoyed it. Top Rank just showing a few trailers now of some of the past fights they've had. They were showing they end with Wilder Fury too. Deontay Wilder. You see he's releasing a single now. Oh, as if we need anything else in the world. We have Deontay Wilder releasing singles. I'll never forget the look on that face and the pause. Oh man, I was shocked. That shocked the hell. I just didn't see that coming. It shocked me. I just didn't see it coming. There's a fight happening in the ring right now. There's two guys fighting in the ring right now, so I guess we're waiting for this 4-rounder to end because I can see two guys having a boxing match in the ring right now. So I'm assuming that they're doing a little time filler, a 4-rounder. So we're probably another 10 minutes off. Because if you're watching what I'm watching, and you're watching the Top Rank stream, all right, round just ended, you can clearly see there's a fight going on in the ring. So I think we're waiting for another few minutes. Sweet kid, it is at this stage. They play at the odd time here. Does anyone actually like Tony Bellew? As a fighter, he was a great fighter, but as a person, I mean, I just think he's an arsehole. Simple as. Big up to G-Man, big up to Adam. Do you think we'll get Haney Lopez next, or Lomachenko next? Yeah, I do. I think we will. I think that's what Bob Arum is looking to do. And I think that if Bob Arum is doing good work with Devin, he'll stick around. I think he'll stick with Top Rank for the time being anyway, if he's doing good work with him. Wouldn't shock me in the slightest. Would not shock me in the slightest. If he's doing good work with Devin, he'll stick around. What about Jordan Gill? Oh, yeah, that's another one. And that was another good fight as well. I mean, you just reminded me about that. That was a brilliant knockout. And that was the come from... But Jordan Gill was on the verge of getting stopped. I mean, no one, I don't think, would have complained if Dave Colwell pulled Jordan Gill out. I think there was complaints because Dave Colwell wasn't pulling Jordan Gill out of that fight. That's a knockout of the year contender right there as well. I do think that the Conlon knockout of Woods knockout of Conlon was better, but that was so dramatic as well. I mean, that was something else. That was some fight because Gill was taking a beating in that fight. He was getting battered from pillar to post. Swinging about, huh? Yeah. Some of the WBA super champions and that French guy at cruiserweight hasn't fought since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Guramaliev, I think his name is. Yeah, he's not fought in a while. And he's not a bad fighter. He's not a bad fighter either, but yeah. Thought he was unbeatable at 135. No one's unbeatable. Would you give Wood a chance to get versus Lee? Well, Leo Santa Cruz, I think, has seen better days now at this stage. But he'd probably still have just enough left in the tank. Just the question is how good can he do the weight? Upset of the year. What's the upset of the year so far? I don't consider Bivol beating Canelo that big an upset, to be honest with you. I think it was a case of that was always going to be a really, really tough fight. And I think that we always kind of knew that Bivol was going to be super dangerous for Canelo. So I don't see that as being a massive upset. I mean, you probably could say, as Snazzy just says down there, Fa versus Brown. I didn't say it. I don't think anyone anticipated that. In terms of other upsets, I mean, there hasn't been that many to speak of. I mean, there was a lot more last year. Say Brown versus Fa is the upset of the year so far. I'm just trying to think, has there been any more? Not really. And again, I don't consider Canelo versus Bivol that big an upset, to be honest with you. Taylor versus Cattrall. Obviously, Taylor got the win there. That's robbery of the year. There's not really any other ones, to be honest with you. Not that I remember, anyway. First watch along, joys of working from home. Yeah, big up to Lauren. Yeah, the joys of working from home. The joys of taking the day off as well. I knew this was happening. I knew I wanted to see it. I was like, I'm taking today off. We do a watch along. As soon as this ends, I go straight to the gym. And then obviously I'll do the post fight as well. Then I'll go straight to the gym. So it's the joys of having the day off. Is there any Robert Helenius news? No, funny enough, there's not been. He at one stage I think he was mandated for Hughie Fury to fight him, but that isn't happening, obviously. So I don't know what the crack is with Robert Helenius now, mate, to be honest with you. Yeah. 89 in the building. If you all could, smash the like button. Just I'll ask again. You never know. If you're new in, if you're enjoying it, hit the old like button. Give your boy a sub. You know, that's why we do this. We should just wait for the main event. I think these guys are nearly done. From the look of things, it looks like they're nearly done. Because I think that's the third time they've sat down. So if it's a 4-rounder, which I imagine it is, then we should be good to go. Brown versus Fa, yeah. And to be honest with you, right, just taking this, I would much prefer if DAZN did this. If they had a little, you know the way when the main event, when the co-main ends, we're waiting on the main event. Sometimes we're waiting a half hour. I'd much prefer they got a little 4-round job like this between like an unknown prospect and some journeyman or something like that, rather than waiting and listening to commentary, listening to pundits. The same with the Top Rank, same with Bob Arum. I'd rather they do something like this where it's like, okay, we got a bit of time to fill. Here you go, lads. 4-rounder, hop in there, do your thing. I'd much rather they did that. Warrington as a mandatory against the guy who starched Isaac Lowe, Luis Albano Lopez. I'm sure he won't vacate again. Yeah, that guy who starched Lowe was good. And I mean the first guy, not the guy he fought on the Fury White undercard, the guy who starched him last year. He was good. He was getting outboxed a bit by Lowe. Brown versus Fa, yeah. How about Bacoli versus Yoka? Yeah, that was a good upset. I didn't think Bacoli would win that fight. That was a good one. That was a very good one now, I have to say. In terms of America, there hasn't really been many in the States, hasn't there? Not like upsets to speak of. I'm just trying to think. There's not really been any. It's not been as many upsets this year as there was last year. I mean, last year there was loads of them. I mean, you started the year off with that, what was it, Josh Warrington versus Mauricio Lara. Will Haney returning to the zone anytime soon. Top Rank have Taylor as well at 140, as well as Loman Stevenson. Yeah, there's a lot of options at Top Rank for Devon. So be interested. I wouldn't say it'd be anytime soon. He'd be back on the zone anyway. Valdez Conceição. Is that the rematch? Are they having a rematch in September? Oh no. They're showing highlights. I was thinking, are they having a rematch? I was like, yes, if they were, that's a great rematch. Was there a big upset recently? I forgot it though. Gary Russell, I suppose, he had an upset win or loss earlier in the year, if you remember that, against that Filipino guy. Oh, I just work in an e-commerce team for a gift company, man. Boring as hell. So you knew Bivol was going to win. I didn't think I said that he could win it, but the judges wouldn't give it to him. I knew he had all the talent in the world to beat Canelo. I knew that. So when he got the decision, I was more surprised he got the decision. I wasn't surprised he got the win. Do you know if the French card tonight is being showed anywhere? No, I don't think it is, mate. I think you'd probably have to try and get a live stream of this Chanel Plus, or Chanel Plus is the ones they get the French ones on. Without mentioning Fury Ruiz, Helenius, top 3 fights for Wilder. AJ, number 1, definitely. AJ, number 1, definitely. I'm just trying to think the other 2. I don't want to see him in with White, but in terms of selling, it'd probably do good numbers. So you got to put White down there. And then who would you put him in there with lastly? Maybe you'd even go with Charles Martin. Why didn't I know this was happening? G Big Up, currently training the clients and pretending I'm not listening to you. Yeah. Keep pretending, man. Just keep pretending. That was a good one. That was last year now. But that's right up there. That's right up there as well. Holy, this is delayed. Just get the show on the road. I know. I don't understand it. I really don't get why they sell and advertise these fights to be at this specific time, and then all of a sudden it's on at like fucking like a half hour later. Like it's 10-1 now, so it's got to be 2 o'clock by the time this whole card finishes. Basically, that's a given. That's just a given. I don't understand it. I really don't understand why they do this, but hey, it is what it is. As they say, it is what it is. James Metcalf against that Spanish guy was one, I think. No, I gave Metcalf a good shot in that fight. I gave him a good shot, but I knew, I mean, you want to talk about corruption and how bad some places are for decisions. I mean, Jesus Christ, Spain is bad. They are bad for corruption with boxing over there. Very bad. Chris Colbert. Yeah, that was a big one. That was a good one. That's a good shout, actually. That's a very good shout. I'd still watch Wilder Usyk. It's not like Usyk never gets hit. He does. He does get hit. He does. He's got a decent enough defense and a decent chin, but I don't think even if you have a decent chin, you won't want to be taking shots from Wilder. Man, that guy gonna knock your spark out. Can I watch the fight in the UK? Yeah. Top Rank Boxing. Type that in on YouTube. You're good to go. Big up, G-Man. I don't know how much you're into football, but Armenia won. Ireland are shite, man. They've always had a crap international squad. It's on YouTube. How long until it starts? Should have been starting now, mate. Should really have been starting now. I mean, they said that the ring walk could be at 12:30. It's now 10-1. And we're watching a lot of trailers. I just don't understand that. I don't get the whole drawing this out and making you wait. To me, it's just like, what? It's just crazy. Yeah, and it's on YouTube. Ben versus Van Heerden. Yeah, man. Ben versus Van Heerden. Major upset. Major. Brown was a massive upset. Also, Holyfield's son getting KO'd. Yeah. I mean, I could probably do, and it's an idea. It might even be an idea for when I do those hype jobs getting exposed. it might be an idea to do a little mini one where it's like father, not like son, or something like that. Because I could probably do a video just talking about the amount of kids, and I'm talking about high level fighters, where their fathers were high level fighters, and they come on and their sons come to the scene, and it's just. Michaela Maher has nice legs. That's about the only thing nice about her. 94 in the chat. Please, if we could make it 80 likes, support your boy. Support your boy. Yeah, the cranberry juice. Always got to have the cranberry juice at the ready. They need to start sponsoring me now. Always. Yeah, Campbell Hatton. Campbell Hatton. Right, I'm just thinking off the top of my head here, right? Campbell Hatton never going to achieve what Ricky did. Just not going to happen. I'll hold out on Conor Bennett for the time being, right? If we look at other people who follow their son, obviously Holyfield Jr., Evan Holyfield, already been knocked out. Marvis Frazier is a good shout, actually. He followed his dad in. Who else has there been? Who else has there been? Because there's been a good few. There's been a good few. I'm just trying to think now. Struggling now. Stinker of the year. Oh, Jesus. Stinker of the year. See, stinkers are so unmemorable, you kind of forget them. You think Campbell Hatton will reach British level? No. They have to be so careful with Campbell Hatton. Like, I mean, they have to literally tippy-toe around every opponent, because he is literally a knockout waiting to happen. That's how careful they have to be with Campbell Hatton. Ridiculously careful. Because the kid can't fight, like. I mean, the kid just cannot fight. He's just trying to do something because it's like, well, my dad did it, so maybe I can do it. It's just not going to work. Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr. is a poor example. There's a good shout, actually. Steve Collins Jr. He was garbage. He was garbage. Trey Lippy Morrison's another example. I mean, there's a good few. So, Campbell Hatton, Collins Jr., Lippy Morrison. Who else? Marvis Frazier. Been a good few. Holyfield's son. There's enough that you could make a video on it. Definitely. Audley Harrison. Yeah. No. Oh, I don't think. I thought you were going to say he will win. No, I don't think he will. Yeah, even at area level. I mean, like, if someone can fight back, and I mean really fight back, and has a little bit of technique, he's beating Campbell Hatton. That's how poor Campbell Hatton is. If you got a bit of technique, you're beating Campbell Hatton. It's just as simple as that. That's how poor Campbell Hatton is. He is garbage. I don't want to sound too harsh on the kid, but it'd be one thing if they were just had him low down the card, and they had him as a co-main event last time. And I believe there was a world title fight on the undercard that went below him. I think it might have been, no, it wasn't. I forget who it was, but there was someone fighting, defending the title. I think it might have been Bam Gardner, who was defending a world title, and she was on before Campbell Hatton. Ain't even at area level yet. Todd Haney, yeah, that was a Steelers Fest, all right. Oh, yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that was away. That was real bad. The minute a Coley feels a bit of danger, he just hangs on for dear life. That was bad. And that guy wasn't too bad, actually. Oddly won Olympic gold. Trains trainer. It's his uncle, mate. He's not going to. 71 likes. 91 in the building. 71 likes. I think we're getting the show on the road now. At long last. Harley Ben is a good example. Yeah, Nathaniel Wilson as well. They're two examples. I mean, Harley Ben, Jesus, people, he was terrible. I think he's still fighting. But he lost to a guy who hadn't won a pro fight yet. He like 18 losses, and his only win is Harley Ben. And yeah, but he hurt him as well. Harrison wasn't a hype job. He was a solid domestic level fighter. Nothing wrong with that. He won a European title, didn't he? I mean, if you get to European, as long as, like, you got the Europeans, so, and there wasn't much yet. Naoya has the Reyes. That's a scary thought. Inoue with Reyes. And he's still getting warmed up in there. Naoya Inoue wearing Reyes gloves, man. That's a scary sight. Very scary sight. Jesus. So he is just getting warmed up now. I still don't understand why they held this up so long. I really don't. I want to get to the gym by about 2:30 today. That is a scary sight seeing Inoue in Reyes gloves. Because they are a puncher glove. They're not very comfy. They're a horrible glove to wear, actually. But they're a real puncher's glove. Tim Tszyu isn't bad. He's a good fighter. What do you think of Ali's grandson? What's his name? Nico or something like that. He hasn't looked amazing. Diego De La Hoya that's De La Hoya's nephew. How much apparently he's been making good money. They've been paying him a lot, which is bizarre. Again, I don't understand it, but look. Yes, big up to Lucas. Love the channel. Inoue wins by a body shot. Yeah, I don't think he can get away this time. Harley Ben. Connor should be like, turn it on. Should be like, turn it, mate. Yeah, I mean, Connor Ben is one thing, but Harley Ben is just garbage. Having a good fight at 1 p.m. Very, very nice. Yeah, I thought it'd be earlier than this. I'm glad. I was thinking of even going live earlier. And thank God I didn't, because I'd be having to change charges and everything. Nico Walsh Ali, thank you. Only in Britain could they do a bit of manipulation to rise Campbell Hatton up. If Campbell Hatton was Mexican or Japanese, he'd be given no favors. If Campbell Hatton wasn't Ricky Hatton's son, I mean, if Campbell Hatton turned pro, with what little experience he has, he'd be on small hall shows, would have probably taken an L by now. Ross the Boss Minter. Pick up to MVG. Who will Joe Joyce fight on July 2nd? That's a good question. I hope to God they don't put him in there with Lucas Brown. I'd say probably Manuel Char, someone like that. They feed him to someone like him, just an easy enough win. Inoue, yeah, man, that's a scary thought. Very scary. Very scary thought. Biggest ass whooping of the year? That's a good question. Probably Amir Khan, when he got battered from pillar to post by Kell Brook. I mean, he wasn't in that fight at all. Did you see Ward's face when the other guy said he'd retire so he didn't have to fight guys like Beterbiev? No, I didn't see that. Yeah, he got starched in his last fight. Joyce should fight Kalnaki. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad show. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Be a good fight. There's that highlights of Inoue versus McDonald. I do think that stoppage was premature. Still to this day, that stoppage in that McDonald fight was premature, I think. Apparently Pacquiao's son is getting into boxing. You know, as I've said before, it's not always like father, like son, especially in a sport like boxing. And I think some of it does come down to, like, it's not all down to this, but I do think that some of it does come from the fact that the father normally doesn't come from a working class background or sometimes poor, and they want it more. They have that hunger for it. Whereas a lot of these kids who are coming from that, they've come from an easy enough life. So theirs just kind of like, well, I'll do it because my dad did it and I'll be just as good. Remember, Campbell has already lost. Yeah, he lost that fight. He lost every round in that fight. Anyone know what happened to Nathan Gorman? I've seen pictures of Nathan Gorman recently. He's looking huge. How can you be a pro boxer and be in that kind of shape? It amazes me. I remember after when he came back in 2020, he said he changed gyms. So he went from the pro gym he was in to an amateur gym because it was closer to home. I was like, mate, really? Really? That's how late you won't go to a pro gym with pro. You'll go to like a little amateur gym because it's closer to home. I mean, really? The gloves on sale didn't complete the check weight by the WBC. Didn't complete the check weight. And I know now there's no rehydration clause and stuff like that, but really? And you'd imagine Donaire be the heavier guy. Yeah, already matching Campbell so carefully. Yeah. They have to be extremely careful with him. And thank you to PK for the super chat. Appreciate the £5. Goes in the London fund. I was heading over there to the Joe Joyce fight at the end of the month or starting next month. So Whatever I get from YouTube, it goes in the fund, goes in the prize fund for that. Where does the power come from, you reckon? He doesn't look like he has tin bones. He's not built like a tree. He clearly has thunder. Again, with punching, it's a lot of things. You know, the anatomy of the fighter. It's a case of how quick you can rotate. Basically, get your power from one part of your body to the end of the fist. And Inoue just seems to have that in abundance. He can just do it naturally. I think a lot of time it is just that you're born with power. I mean, you can improve power, certainly, but you'll never take someone, you know, like a Paulie Malignaggi and make them a big, devastating puncher. It's never going to happen. But you can improve it, certainly. And Inoue just seems to have that power, just God-given power. He just has that heavy-handedness. And his technique plays a large part in it. You know, he's able to rotate his shots very well. He's able to switch his power from one end to the top of the fist real quick. He punches correctly as well. Like, a lot of it is punching correctly. Like, as I said when I was doing the preview for Donaire Inoue, when Donaire broke Inoue's orbital bone and started to bleed, it was from a left hook. And if you look at it, it lands with the finger part of the glove. If it had landed with the knuckle part of the glove, chances are Inoue would have went down. Maybe. I don't know about that. That might be a bit risky. Butterbean, Jesus. He could barely walk nowadays. He's that overweight, Butterbean. The winner gets a belt collection against... Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that. Paul Butler, I mean, he is just asking. They will be lining up to fight him. Afternoon. What time's the fight on? I'm at work and plan to Skype off. I'd say the ring walk should be happening soon, mate. I mean, they've dragged it out for a good half hour. Is Trevor Bryan worth a shot? I can't say it. And here's the thing. I've just learned about the Bryan fight. They're going to have it on at UK time. So it's going to be on our time. So it's nice and handy for us. It's going to be on about 10, 11. I would love to do a watch along for that. I'd absolutely love to do it. But it's Don King. And he doesn't play around. He will copyright the hell out of you. So I'm not taking no chances. I'd love to as well, but I'm not taking no chances with Don King. Yeah, that's going to be a massacre. Great channel. How long till Ben gets found out? I would imagine it wouldn't be too long. Because I think he's improved, but he's nowhere near as good as they make him out to be. Like, and his ceiling is low. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate the £5 every single time. Support the channel however you can. At the very least, smash the like button. They're playing guitars in there. Some guy called Hotel. Okay. In the ring. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. 79 likes. If we could make it 90, I'd appreciate that from the 97 in the building. If you haven't already, hit the old subscribe button as well. Help your boy out. Obviously, want to get to 8K as quick as I can. But thank you so much. Every little bit helps, mate. Every little bit helps. Would have planned his own funeral. Yeah. He's fighting on... Yeah, Josh Kelly's fighting on that card as well. Josh Kelly makes his return to the ring. Dubois versus Wilder. I mean, you're guaranteed a knockout in that fight, mate. That's a knockout. Yeah, Jimmy Lennon in there. Yeah, Paulie punches harder than those guys who he beat for the world title he fought. Paulie is feather-fisted. That's always going to be the way. But he's sure you can improve his power. I'm sure you can. Conor improved. Basically implied in an interview that Cordina put it on him in sparring, and he's like, Conor Ben basically implied that interview that Cordina put it on him in sparring. He's like 3 divisions lighter. Yeah, Conor Ben, I don't think is afraid of fight, but I genuinely think that he's improved, and now he thinks he's up there with the likes of Boots. Just ain't gonna happen. Japanese Stevie Bale, Jimmy Lennon making an announcement, making the bad guy announcer every fighter. I swear, I like Jimmy Lennon. I think he's good. I'd sooner have Jimmy Lennon than David Diamante. I don't mind Diamante as an announcer, but Jimmy Lennon I like. Keith Furman might become one time again. One time a year. That's about all you get from Keith Thurman. That is literally what Keith Thurman is these days. I'm surprised. He's talking about fighting twice this year. Inoue to the ring first. Interesting. I would have thought Donaire would have walked to the ring first. Boy, this is not worth it. No, it will be worth the wait. It'll be worth the wait, mate. It'll be worth the wait. But yeah, Inoue to the ring first. This guy loving life with the guitar, so he is. Look at the shapes on him with the guitar in there. Loving life in there, so he is. Plus, he's got fan-friendly style. We on about Ben. Ben's style is not too. It's not too bad. It's fun enough. He goes for it. Need a loss to give him a boost. Ben and No Tank are two fires that come to mind. Yeah, dude going nuts. Dude loving life in there with the guitar. Look at him there. Absolutely on cloud 9, so he is in there. Was it Glory? Was it Gary Russell Jr. who fights like once a year? Even once every 2 years now nearly. And he lost his last fight. How about Babbage versus Brown? They tried to make that fight. Do you remember? They tried to do that fight on the undercard of, I think it was on the undercard of White Valiant. They tried to do that, and it got so much backlash. How come Inoue doesn't have a WBA super belt even though he beat Donaire in his last fight? He should be super champion. Last time I checked, he was. I know when he won the title off McDonald, he was regular champion, but I thought they elevated him to super champion. Anyway, with the Kill Bill music, really? Yeah, so do I. I don't know why. I would have thought that he would have been, he's the ace side. I would have thought he is anyway. But maybe out of respect for Nonito Donaire and his achievements, they're letting him walk second. Because normally it's the champion, and yes, he's got the Everlasts. Man. Oh, look at that. Man, I love Nonito Donaire. Holy shit, I love Nonito Donaire. He is one of my favourite fighters. Oh man, I'm getting hyped now. Oh man. Man, Nonito Donaire is one of my favourites. He really is. Him against Inoue too. Man, I'm hyped for this fight. This fight's going to be fun. So Inoue to the ring first. And Inoue is the unified champion. I would have thought he would have came second. I don't want to see Danny Williams ever fight again, mate, to be honest with you. A smaller dude, I think Inoue is probably my favourite fighter. Looking forward to this. Who do you got? Shakur versus Loma. Probably right now I'd favour Loma slightly. But in a year or two, God knows. Man, I can't wait for this fight. I think how big this fight is in Asia. I mean, Inoue is a big name in Japan. Donaire is a big name in the Philippines. The universally most liked fighter amongst boxing fans I've ever heard. No, I can't see anyone saying a bad word against him. He's great. He's a great ambassador for the sport as well. He really is. I mean, people say like, oh, boxer, this or that. You just show him Nonito Donaire. Just show, not just him fighting, just him as a person. You just show him Nonito Donaire and there you go. They're both getting paid well, I'd say. Prince Naz, Mick Hennessy Jr. Yeah, he's actually, Mick Hennessy Jr. is garbage. Question time for G-Man. Who is the more complete fighter in terms of talent inside the ring, Donaire or Pacquiao? I think probably just edge Pacquiao. Donaire has a worse defense than Pacquiao. Pacquiao's defense was never amazing, but Donaire does have a poor defense. That's one thing you can definitely say about him. His defense is quite poor. But guys are getting to the ring now. Man, I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this. How long do you think Haney will reign? How would he do against Garcia, Tank, Loma? Him against Tank be interesting. I think he beats Garcia. And right now, as of now, I think Loma beats him. But him against Tank would be interesting. That power. Yeah, I know. I don't want to see anyway. I don't want to see Donaire get stopped. But I think it might be. I think it's a point win for Inoue, but you can't rule anything out. You can't rule, not with that kind of punching power that Donaire has. You cannot rule anything out. I mean, that left hook is the single hardest shot in the bantamweight division. Might even be one of the hardest shots in boxing, pound for pound. Nonito Donaire's left hook may very well be one of the hardest single shots in the sport of boxing. And I mean that. Is Ben Davison overrated or underappreciated? I think Ben Davison's a good trainer. I really do. But I just think he does himself no favours. He does himself no favours when he's always, you know, loving the camera. He's always putting his mouth in where it doesn't need to be. And I think that's the problem with Ben Davison I have. is that he's a good trainer, but he does himself no favours. Does himself absolutely no favours. But we wait for the national anthems, and then we will be good to go. We're into this fight. 100 in the building. 100 in the building, 86 likes. Come on, people. 14 off 100. 14 likes off 100. Yeah, he's not allowed in Australia either. It's to do with the Daniel Kinahan, and El Chapahan. It's to do with El Chapahan. Being so associated with him. That's why he's not allowed in there. Donaire unanimous. Be nice. Yo, big up to Jamie. Shout out to Punch Perfect. How are you, my friend? How are you? Thank you for the super chat. Inoue, don't say that, mate. Don't say that. Don't. I hope not. And that's going to be, I hope. Look, I think Inoue's going to win. But I hope we don't see Donaire get stopped. I really don't. Come on, Nonito. Big up to G-Man and the chat. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. I hope you're enjoying this as well. Man, I can't wait for this fight. I really can't. But I can just see it in my head, just Donaire landing that left hook. If he landed that left hook and took Inoue out, oh my God. I like Inoue. Don't get this wrong. I like Inoue, but I would be so happy. I love Nonito Donaire. How far does Ben Whitaker go? I think he can do quite well. That will be crazy. It will be. Watching it from London, yeah. Hey, G-Man, I said hi to you at the airport well over a year ago, but you didn't want to interrupt. You were speaking to that lady. Were you? I don't remember that, man. I haven't, look, last time I was in the airport was in March and then October. And I haven't been there since. So I don't remember that. If anyone ever does, if anyone does recognise us, you're good to go. I don't know. Is Jamie going live after the fight? Hopefully. But I don't see anything lined up. See, it's a bad kind of time to put this fight on for everyone. I had to take a day off just to watch this fight. But here we go. Man, I can't wait for this fight. Does his legacy stand? His legacy stands regardless, mate. You'll never take Nonito Donaire's legacy away. He's the oldest bantamweight champion in history. He's 39 years old. And it's 1 and 2 in the division between him and Inoue. It's going to be very hard to find longevity like that. Certainly at those weight classes. I mean, I'm sure higher up, yeah, you could. But if Inoue wins or Donaire wins, they go with Butler and they beat the living crap out of Paul Butler. I mean, Nonito Donaire, I mean, Jesus, people. What he would do to Paul Butler, same with Inoue. It's got to be, this is no disrespect, but the winner of this should fight Paul Butler. And I think we're talking about the most one-sided, undisputed fight since Indongo versus Crawford. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be one of the most one-sided, undisputed fights in history. When they beat Paul Butler, he'll retire an all-time great. I think the glove should be made out of Philistone rubber and not Woodstock foam. Well, the gloves Donaire uses are kind of, they're a mixture of horsehair and foam. In Inoue's Reyes, they look like the Safe Tech. So Reyes do 2 types. They use the Safe Tech and they use the horsehair. You can tell a horsehair glove by the look of it. It's a bit more, how do I put it? Not deformed, but you can tell a horsehair glove from a foam glove. You can just tell by the look of it. And that looks more the Safe Tech one. Letting Donaire walk first. He'll probably be hobbling out second. Big up to Otto from Japan. Big up. 97 in the building, people. 97 in the building. We got 90 likes. 10 away from 100. Can we get to 100 likes? And if anyone's new, enjoying this, hit your boy up a subscribe. Help us get to 8K. We want to get to 8K. That's the goal. 8K subs. Strange to watch this fight of the stature at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. What time is it now? 20 past 1. I guess for people in the UK, most people will be taking their lunch breaks now, so it's a nice little filler for your lunch break. What do you think of Pulev versus Chisora? I mean, Jesus. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Don't know why you'd make that. I mean, yeah, there you go. I'll go with Pulev to win that fight on points. Probably pick him to do a 12-round UD or a split decision maybe. But he should win that fight on points. If only fights like this get more exposure. I'd love it, man. Such a great fight. It's 5:17 in the morning in California. You know what it's like now. You know what it's like for us in the UK. When we have to, it was like, what, 20 to 6 when I got to bed on Saturday night or Sunday morning, technically. You know what we have to deal with now, mate. It's not fun. That's a good time. In Melbourne, the Seeker there has a good time. That's a good one. It's handier over there, you know, for that, because you get it at a, this is on a decent time for you. Both guys getting ready, man. I'm looking forward to this, man. I cannot wait for this fight. I think that's Michael Griffin, the referee. Michael Griffin's a good referee. He's a good referee. He refereed AJ Ruiz 1. He normally is a very, very good, solid, dependable referee. So both guys getting their instructions. What TV channel is the fight on? Top Rank Boxing on YouTube. Top Rank Boxing on YouTube. Just type that into YouTube. You'll have the fight there, free of charge, no issues. So here we go. Man. I'll let you know when this round starts. Big up to Lee Jones. Here we go. Here we go. Inoue Donaire 2. And straight out with the left hook in Nonito Donaire. Straight out with that left hook. And probing Inoue straight away. I think Inoue is going to look to get on the jab early on. He's going to look for any openings. Donaire can be open to shots, and Inoue like that, straight on the jab and looking to hook off the jab straight away. Nonito Donaire looking to take center ring and looking to use his own jab. I definitely think he'll be more active with the shots in this fight. That was one thing. He looked for too many power shots in the first fight. I think he needs to look to set up the shots with his own punches this time, instead of looking for counters. But Inoue, he can leads with the hook and just misses there. But you can see the force in that hook already. Only 14k watching. Crazy. A fight like this should be doing way more than that. But the jab coming in from Inoue early on. And I think, again, Donaire, he's definitely looking a bit more... Oh, left hook again from Inoue. He's definitely looking to kind of not parry these shots like he did in the first fight. That was one complaint I had. He took a few too many shots in the first fight just to get his off. But one thing Inoue does is that he can leave that head wide up in the air. He doesn't move it that as much as he should. And he can drop his hands a bit. As we saw in the first fight, Donaire was able to counter with right hands. The right hands did bother Inoue. But all that power is in that left hook. The left hook is Donaire's bread and butter shot. And he walks into a counter right hand from Inoue straight away. Kind of a feeling out round this so far. There's not really been much from both guys. But Inoue seems to be a little bit more in control. He's keeping it at range. He's using this jab. Using the jab there to good effect there. And keeping the distance very well between the two guys. Both guys not really coming... Oh, right hand goes in from Inoue there, but Donaire's able to move with it. And Donaire's still looking, taking his time, looking for openings there. Inoue missing with some shots. Just looking to set it all up with the jab. Not really looking to try and throw any major shots of note as of yet. He's missed with a few shots, but the right hand goes in from Inoue. Donaire with the left hooks. Body shots. Big right hand from Nonito Donaire. Inoue felt that a bit as he backs up again the ropes. Now we're seeing some leather getting thrown. And Donaire again pushes it back with a jab. But a big jab goes in there from Inoue. Some serious power in some of those shots that Inoue is throwing. You can already see the thunder on them shots. He's using Reyes gloves as well, which makes the shot even harder. Those gloves will mark you up. Right hand goes in from Inoue. Good first round this from both guys, but I got to give this round to Inoue just based on work rate alone and the shots being landed. Oh, down goes Donaire from a right hand in the first round. Good right hand goes in from Inoue. Drops Nonito Donaire in the first round. He was dropped in the first fight. It was from a body shot. Now he's dropped from a right hand. The bell should go and save it. It does. It does. Great counter punching from Inoue in that first round. Brilliant. And he drops Nonito Donaire with a right hand. And Donaire looked hurt from that right hand. Let's have a look at this. Right hand lands on the side of the chin, or the side of the head, I should say, and down goes Nonito Donaire. Big straight right hand. And that's a worry. Your YouTube is a bit behind. I don't know why, because it's not buffered at all. It's not buffered once for me yet. It's not buffered once for me yet. So I think mine is... Whereabouts are you? Are you in the second round? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But mine hasn't buffered once. It's been so far so good. The second round is just about to get underway now. So second round just underway. How does Nonito Donaire look after being dropped heavily by Inoue in the first round? Inoue looking to get back to where he left off. Looking to set up some shots, leading with the left hooks. Right hand goes in from Inoue. Donaire misses. Left hook goes in again from Inoue. That looked like a toot went flying there. More shots going in from Inoue. Really looking to put it under pressure. Donaire almost looks like a fish out of water. Trying to fight back. Does fight back. But he gets hurt again from a left hook by Inoue. Inoue looking to open up some more shots. Left hook lands from Inoue. Donaire is in all kinds of trouble. The legs look gone. Oh dear, the legs look gone. Right hand goes in from Inoue. Donaire trying to fight back. Left hook to the body. But it looks one-way traffic at this stage. Right hands go in from Naoya Inoue. Donaire takes it. Fights back off again. The ropes. Right hand shots go in. Referee Michael Griffin having a look already at Nonito Donaire. More right hands go in from Inoue. Uppercut misses. Donaire pushes him back. Body shots from Inoue. He is relentless in this second round. But shots go in from Donaire. Fights him back. Pushes Inoue up again the ropes. Both guys look at the trade. Oh, big left hook from Inoue. Legs are gone. Oh, the referee might need to stop this. But Donaire, brave as they come, fights back. Inoue piling on the pressure. Donaire looks like a fish out of water. The referee might need to look at... Oh, no. Down goes Nonito Donaire. The referee waves it off. Second round knockout from Naoya Inoue. What a performance. But God, your heart goes out to Nonito Donaire. Oh, man. What a performance by Naoya Inoue. Absolutely destructive shots. But my God, your heart goes out to Nonito Donaire. What a... Oh, man. Naoya Inoue was relentless. Relentless with the attacks. Donaire's eyes busted open a bit. Let's have a look at some of these shots. Oh, man. Both guys embrace. Tremendous. Tremendous by both guys. I really did think this was going all around. This was going to 12 rounds. But what punching power for Naoya Inoue for a bantamweight. Unbelievable punching power. It really is. It was a left hook. It was a counter left hook that started it. That really put Nonito Donaire. His feet were gone. His legs were completely shot. And Naoya Inoue, one of the best finishers in boxing. Maybe even the best. Right up there with the likes of Deontay Wilder. Relentless. Nobody beating Inoue. Not at 118, no. Oh yeah, destruction will go. Well done by Nonito Donaire. Thanks to Japanese fans. That was sad to see. Brilliant from Inoue, but my God, that was sad to see. Yeah, Butler gets knocked out in the first round, in my opinion. Money on a first round knockout for Paul Butler, in my opinion, in that fight. Easy, easy money. First round KO for Paul Butler. Go on YouTube and type in Top Rank Boxing. You'll get the fight there. The fight's over, but you can rewind it. Oh, man. Let's have a look at some of the replays. That was what you call destruction. And you know that's going in the title. You know that's going in the title of this. But that was destruction if ever I seen it. Good Lord. Good Lord. Demolition job. Is Butler the only other guy with the belt? He is. He is the only other guy with the belts. And that's going to be probably the most one-sided, undisputed fight you'll ever see. You will ever see. I don't think you'll ever see a more one-sided, undisputed fight than that. Paul Butler's been shot for years. He is going to get absolutely battered. But Donaire, I think Father Time has finally caught up to him, unfortunately. What a fighter. What a fighter he has been, but Inoue just had way too much in this fight. Way too much. Brilliant performance by Naoya Inoue. What a performance. My God. My God, that was savage. That was absolutely savage by Naoya Inoue. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I agree. Well, to be fair, going into that fight, Indongo had come on, had a couple of good wins. He had a couple of good wins, and people did think people weren't picking him to win, but people, myself included, thought he'd be competitive. He'd hang in there with Crawford. Well, we were proven wrong. So, with the benefit of hindsight, we can say that was one of the most one-sided, undisputed fights. But at the time, few people like myself thought, all right, he's going to lose, but he might give a good account of himself. Paul Butler, it's like first round knockout, Naoya Inoue. I'm going first round knockout, Naoya Inoue, Paul Butler. Easy work. And he's trained by Joe Gallagher. So Joe Gallagher will be like, right, Paul, when he hits you, just take it. He'll tire himself out. Oh, you're knocked out. Oh, well, better look next time. That's Joe Gallagher. But Naoya Inoue, they haven't shown replays of the knockout, which I'd like to see, but there goes Nonito Donaire, great ambassador for the sport. Sad to see it end like that, but look, it is what it is. It is what it is. Jesus Christ, people. Yeah. People, I'm probably going to call it quits here and do the post-fight review. Do Japan not allow WBO fights? No, they do. I mean, Naoya Inoue was WBO champion at 115 for ages, for a couple of years. But credit to Nonito Donaire, great ambassador for the sport, great fighter. That's just a sad sight. That's just such a sad sight to see him walk out of the ring like that. And then a Japanese guy falls while he's bringing him back. That was funny. But yeah, credit to Naoya Inoue. I'm going to do a review now because I want to get to the gym. So people, I will call it quits here. We'll get a review. I want to get to the gym. And yeah, get the review out. And then probably chat to you tomorrow for midweek report. Probably do a live stream tomorrow maybe as well. We'll watch and see. People, much appreciated to you, my man, as always. Lads, hope you enjoyed the fight. Hope you all enjoyed it. Big up to everyone. I'll chat to you. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit the like button. Peace.